Hi, Stick J here. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to repress this type of port that doesn't have the pins, okay? So you can see with this one, it doesn't actually have the 4 pins, which is the VBus or the positive line, the data positive, data minus, and the ID, okay? So this video, I'm going to show you how to repress it and how to jumper it to make sure the phone charges again, just in case you cannot get the replacement of this charging board, okay? So let's get started. So let me go ahead and clamp it to my PCB holder to make sure I repress the charging port perfectly fine. So to make it stable, I already have the charging port prepared with me. So I'm going to go ahead and repress this port with my hot air. Okay. So I grab it perfectly. So, and make sure you don't hit it so much because the so right now I put my charging port in place, and I'm going to go ahead and secure it with some solder to make sure it doesn't come out. So okay, so I'm going to go ahead and secure it with my solder, okay, to make sure it doesn't come off and to make sure it is in place. Okay, so after now, the other thing I want to do, I'm going to apply solder on the VBus, okay, on the VBus line of the charging port, because we don't have its pin on the PCB. So I'm going to now go and get my jumper wire. So this is my jumper wire, the one that I use. So I'm going to apply a little bit of solder on one end and make sure it can stick on the VBus line perfectly fine. Okay, so this is it. Now I'm going to go ahead and solder it on the VBus line. Okay, on the VBus line. So that's the VBus line or the VCC line. So after I've secured it in place, now this line I can go ahead and jumper it to many points. Many points I can jumper this line to. So I could take it directly to the logic board on the VBus test point, or I can as well as jumper it to this very same board. Okay, so if I don't want to jumper it directly to the main board, I can jumper it to this exact board. Okay, and how am I going to jumper? There are many places that you can jumper this to, but the two of the significant are the charging flex connector or that diode. Okay, you see that diode, and the fact that I have the diode closer to me, so I'm going to jump directly to that diode. Okay, so but before that I wanted to check which side of the diode is negative, and you do that with the help of multimeter in the beep mode. Okay, so I use my multimeter, red on the ground and black as a test point, to test first which line is the positive line and the negative line, just to differentiate them. Okay, and remember, the positive line has to connect directly to the VBus line on the charging connector, and this looks to be the positive of the diode because it connects directly to the VBus. Okay, okay, so I'm going to cut my jumper wire to make it short, and after cutting it, I'm going to go ahead and apply some solder on the other end of my jumper wire. Okay, so apply some solder again to make sure it solders perfectly fine on the place where I want to get it to. So I'm trying to make it perfectly fine to fit on where. So I'm trying to make sure it fits on wherever I want it to fit. So I'm going to go ahead and solder it over the side. So this side of the diode is the positive side. So what you don't want to do is to solder it on the negative side. Okay, you don't want to do that. Okay, so after securing it on the positive side of the diode, so I'm going to go ahead and have something to tape it on, just to make sure I secure it and not to touch other lines on the PCB. Okay, so I'm putting this paper. So this paper tape is going to help me secure it, so just to make sure it doesn't touch any other point, and make sure it sticks in one place. Okay, so this is it done. So I'm going to go ahead and put it into the phone and to test it and see whether it is working or not. But trust me, it's gonna work as long as you solder it in the right point, VBus to VBus, and not any other point. Okay, so in case you make a mistake and you solder it to the ground, the moment you put it in the power supply, you will get a short. Okay, or you get some kind of notification from the power supply. So that's why you need to master how to use the power supply. Okay, so I connect the charger and you can see the light and it starts charging. Okay, so let me show you what the power supply says. Here the charger is connected and charging with 78 milliamps. Okay, 43 milliamps, 0% charging, charging 43, 42 milliamps. Okay, so this would be normal for charging. 43 milliamps and it's charging at 0%. So this is it after assembling the phone. So after assembling the phone, I connect the charger again, 78 milliamps, which is perfectly fine. So you like my videos, kindly go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like the video, and I will see you in another one. Bye bye and take care.